When you talk about private jets that can literally fly across the globe, there are icons. And then there are aircraft that are just on another level. Today, we're diving into the Gulfstream G800. It's not just a replacement for a legend like the G650ER, it's a machine designed to completely rewrite the rules of global travel.
So, what's the big deal? What makes this jet a real contender for the crown in the super competitive world of private aviation? Well, we're going to break it all down. It's a story about some incredible engineering, a serious focus on the passenger, and a relentless push for pure performance.
You know, it's a great question. In a world of amazing airplanes, what actually defines the ultimate private jet? Is it just about flying farther than anyone else? Is it about speed? Or is it the feeling you get, the experience you have inside that cabin that really sets a jet apart? That's the question we're going to keep in mind as we unpack what makes the G800 tick. All right, here's our flight plan for this explainer. We'll kick things off with its origin story, then get into the nitty-gritty of its performance. After that, we'll step inside the cabin, take a hard look at the price tag, and finally, figure out who this incredible jet is really built for.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the G800's journey. You see, this isn't just a new model number. It's a really strategic move for Gulfstream, building on everything they've learned over decades. And you can see just how fast this all happened. From the big announcement in late 2021 to its first flight less than a year later, and then delivery starting up. That kind of speed tells you Gulfstream was incredibly confident in this design from day one.
And here's the proof, straight from the top. Gulfstream's president himself is saying, look, this isn't some experimental prototype. The G800 is hitting the market as a fully mature, proven platform, thanks to all the development that went into its sibling, the G700. All right, now for the main event, the part everyone's been waiting for, performance. Because in this category of jets, the numbers on the spec sheet directly translate to what's possible in the real world.
Okay, this is the number that changes the game, 8,200 nautical miles. To put that in perspective, that's flying nonstop from New York all the way to Johannesburg, or hopping from London to Perth, Australia without ever stopping for fuel. It completely redefines the idea of a direct flight.
So how does it stack up against the competition? Well, you can see it right here. While the others are incredibly capable, the G800 officially holds the title for the longest certified range you can buy today. And that extra couple hundred miles, that's not just bragging rights. For global business, that can be the difference between a one-leg trip and a time-wasting fuel stop. Now, when you put it head-to-head with its biggest rival, the Bombardier Global 7500, you see this really interesting trade-off. The Global might get you out of a slightly shorter runway, but the G800 takes the win on both ultimate range and pure top-end speed. Okay, so flying farther and faster is one thing, but what's it actually like to spend, say, 15 hours inside one of these things? This is where the G800's real magic might just be found, not just in the cabin, but up in the cockpit too. This is where Gulfstream gets, well, kind of obsessed with how you feel. It starts with having the lowest cabin altitude in the industry. Here's what that actually means for you. While the plane is cruising way up at 41,000 feet, the air pressure inside feels like you're just chilling on a mountainside at under 3,000 feet. Your body isn't working so hard, which means you arrive feeling way more refreshed and with a lot less jet lag. It's a total game changer. And what's powering this whole experience? Well, you've got these incredible Rolls-Royce Pearl 700 engines. They're not just about raw power, they are shockingly efficient. That's the secret sauce behind that 8,200 nautical mile range. And hey, better efficiency also means a quieter cabin and a lighter touch on the environment. And then, of course, there's the cabin itself. Those huge signature oval windows are the biggest in the business, and they just flood the space with natural light. The interior is basically a blank canvas you can turn into an office, a dining room, a lounge, or a bedroom for those long overnight flights. Now, up in the cockpit, the pilots get some seriously cool tech called the Symmetry Flight Deck. And one of its star features is this combined vision system. It basically gives the pilot superpowers, fusing an infrared view with a 3D synthetic map of the world. It lets them see right through darkness and bad weather. It's a huge leap forward in safety.
Okay, so you've got best-in-class range, a cabin that's basically a wellness spa in the sky. So what's the price tag on all this performance? Let's get into the numbers.
Right out of the gate, you're looking at a list price of about $72.5 million. That's the initial investment to get your hands on this incredible piece of machinery. But of course, that's just the start of the story. But as any owner knows, the purchase price is just the beginning. Let's talk about what it costs to actually run this thing. If you fly about 450 hours a year, you can expect an annual budget of just over $3 million. That's broken down between your fixed costs, things like your crew and hangar, and your variable costs, like fuel and maintenance, that go up the more you fly.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've seen the performance, we've toured the cabin, and we've looked at the cost. So, when all is said and done, who is the G800 really for? How do you make that final decision? At the end of the day, for a lot of buyers at this level, it really comes down to one core question. What do you value most? If you need to fly the absolute farthest while feeling your best when you land, the G800 is in a league of its own. But if your top priority is having the largest possible living space in the sky, a true airborne apartment, then the Bombardier Global Series is a very compelling choice. So here's the bottom line. The G800 is probably your champion if these points are at the top of your list. If that unbeatable range is a must-have, if arriving refreshed is non-negotiable, and if an extra 500 miles opens up a whole new world of destinations for you, then this jet was, quite literally, engineered for you. So we started by asking, is the finish line measured in miles or is it measured in comfort? What the Gulfstream G800 seems to prove is, why choose? It masterfully blends that record-breaking range with an experience that's all about your well-being, challenging what we even thought was possible in a private jet. It really just leaves you with one final question. Where to next?